Okay, let's have another look at another tool here. This is an alternative to erasing parts that you don't need in a layer. So, I've got this case right now where I'm putting this window in, and the window, is starting to get roughed in. I'm starting to just kind of figure out, I got a bent bar here over top of three other bars in the frame. I've actually drawn those, put them into a group like I've shown you, and if we turn those off, so I've got the frame roughed in. Of course, remembering there should be thickness on the insides going through. I have then the three bars that aren't damaged at this point, and I actually did erase this one. I'll probably redraw it back in and use what I'm about to show you. And I've got the third one bent over top. Why didn't I draw this bent one over top just on the same layer as the others? Because it's over top, and it's going to be easier for me to manage and work with if it's not on top of the other ones. So the problem being is I had all these lines and other elements, possibly in the original crate that I drew that are interacting with it, and I want to get rid of those. So I could just go in and erase them if I wanted. That's totally valid. But what if I suddenly decide, or the art director looks over your shoulder and says, hey, we don't want that there. Can you remove it? Now you got to go back and draw all the lines instead of just do what I'm about to show you. So we're going to use something called layer masking. And a mask basically allows you to be able to create transparent areas or even semi-transparent areas of a layer without actually erasing them. So with our crate layer that's got the lines that we want to erase on, we're going to go up to layer, down to layer mask, and in this case you can either pick reveal all or hide all, and so we're going to say reveal all, so leave them all there. So when we do that, you're going to get this linked layer. This is the layer mask over on the right hand side here, and it's all white, and if it's all white we can see 100% of this. If you're going to make something transparent, this would be all black. And so black is 0. It's basically showing 0 of this. It's kind of like having this fill or the opacity layer here um, set to 0 if it's black and 100% if it's white. But we can now do it where we want as opposed to overall. So all we need to do is paint black into this layer mask, and it will make areas transparent. So you don't use your eraser. I'm going to use my paintbrush here, and I made it a little bigger. And I'm going to use the color black, and so I can just go in and erase these sections now. And what's nice is if I make a mistake, like, oops, I made a mistake and I rubbed out more than I wanted and I didn't notice. It's okay. All I have to do is paint white into it. By the way, you can change this to black and white by clicking on that little icon and then flipping it back and forward with X or the little arrows here. So if I actually paint white back into this, it'll come back in. So it's nice because it's kind of an infinite undo type idea. So I'm going to flip that back to black and erase these and get rid of everything that I don't want to be seeing. This also means if the art director looks over my shoulder and says, hey, can you move the thing down lower? Or can you shove it over to one way or the other? It's going to be easy. Hey, can you move it to the other side of the box? Yeah, not a problem. What we can do is we can take this layer mask, do a couple things with it. One, you can right click on it and say disable, and it'll just disable it temporarily. Enable. Or you could actually just go and delete the layer mask and get rid of it. Okay. Or you could fill it with white again and start erasing somewhere else. So there's multiple ways you can sort of manage this layer mask idea. And again, it makes for a quick way to be able to function and work. And it's non-destructive, we call it. It's like modifiers in 3ds Max. They're non-destructive, except for the edit poly modifier, which you should not be using. So the modifiers in Max, like a bend modifier or something, is non-destructive. You could add it, delete it, change it at will, however you want, and come back to it 10 years from now and change it again, and it'll work as it should, or at least should 10 years from now. My old files from 25 years ago still work, so I don't know why it wouldn't. So anyways, there you go. Layer masks.